with coverage you can count on. This is Pro 8 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Laredo's Most Watched News. I'm Tim Gutierrez.
And I'm Ann Hutera. Police are releasing more information about the hostage situation at the local Health and Human Services office last night that ended with one woman dead and her 2 children seriously injured. Police have now identified the woman and her children and are answering questions about why the tactical team couldn't move in earlier. Our Nick Garcia was back at the scene today and has the latest details in our top story tonight at 6.
At approximately 11:50 p.m., she hung up on the hostage negotiators. They heard 3 shots ring out in the office.
Deadly end to a 7-hour tense ordeal that began right before 5 Monday afternoon when 38-year-old Rachelle Grimmer, who police say had been denied food stamps, entered this Health and Human Services office. She had her 2 children, 10-year-old Timothy and 12-year-old Ramie, with her, along with the .38 caliber revolver and extra ammunition that police say she used to hold a supervisor hostage.
Initially, she took 2 people, two ladies, two workers from the state in the office with her. The supervisor, who was identified as Mr. Robert Reyes, showed up to the office and basically pled and made the argument to the suspect that he was truly the one that could help her in this situation, and asked that she release the 2 lady hostages, which she agreed to.
Police moved in, and at 7:45, the hostage was freed.
This was a positive sign at the time. We immediately updated the information because throughout the entire evening she was maintaining vigilance on the internet through the various news websites, in particular the one from KGNS.
There was no indication at that point, none whatsoever, that her children were in danger.
But about 10 minutes before midnight, Grimmer cut off communications with police, and 3 shots were heard moments after.
Upon hearing this, the LPD SWAT team entered the room and found the tragic finding of the 3 bodies wounded inside the office.
Police say the mother was dead, her 2 children seriously injured. They are now in critical condition at a San Antonio hospital. Authorities say they did everything they could to save lives and say the children seem safe. Time was on their hand and moving in was not an option.
The room was a room with only one way out, one way in, one way out, and it was protected by a digital keypad, which was difficult to just make an abrupt entry into. It had windows that were basically protected by plastic blinds and no other way to get into the room. It is also important to mention that throughout the entire incident, the woman basically had her 12-year-old daughter right in the proximity of her front lap, in essence using her daughter almost like a human shield. And she basically dimmed out the lights in the office and only had the light of the computer to go by.
That the children were actually providing information to the mother in terms of where the officers were located in that aspect.
Police say Grimmer's demand was that she be given assistance for her family. Authorities say her reasons for taking such drastic measures raise serious questions.
It's affecting people at different levels. People are responding differently. Is this a sign of things to come? I pray that it is not. But I think if anything, I think our politicians, our policymakers need to really look at this and understand what the impact of not taking any action, not making a decision, could ultimately have.
Meanwhile, officials of the Texas Health and Human Services office say anyone with pending appointments can meet with caseworkers at 8511 McPherson. The office has been relocated to that address until further notice as police finish out their investigation here. Annette Garcia, Pro 8 News.